My name is Nicola Gravante. My business name is Nick Pilates, and I have my studio here in Vienna. I live in Vienna since 15 years. I was before COVID teaching also a lot in Zurich, which I used to love it. And I had my own studio in Vienna, and now since 3 months I have my bigger studio here
Okay,
in
wow.
Vienna, and so my I'm based here, and sometimes I teach also in Zurich or in Milan, but my base is now in Vienna. And
Okay.
your studio, where is your studio? In
I'm just outside of Toronto in Canada. So
nice.
yeah, so Mississauga, and so my studio is here. And it's interesting though. So you said your studio's got bigger. Like a lot of people are kind of scaling back and repurposing, and you're expanding.
The thing is, like, I had my home studio, which was really nice at the beginning for starting, because obviously when you start a business, you need to build your client as well. I mean, no
Yes.
one knows you. Thank Instagram as well. It's a new way of getting to know people and advertise yourself, which is really grateful for us. It's important.
Yes.
But so I wanted to start slow and see how much how much money I need to do an investment. Then
Yes.
after 2 years that I was teaching in my place, I wanted to have something out of my place. Because I love people, but everyone brings the energy,
Right.
and
Yes.
everyone brings your energy in your place, which at the end it's two mixes of energy, and you
Yes.
just need a little bit of clear mind and then to separate a little bit work and your private life as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm so big on those boundaries. I like having people in my space, but there's times when it's just like, I mean, also with like strangers too, right? Like you're trying to grow your business, you want to expand that base, and you're not sure
Yeah,
what energy is coming in too, right? So,
exactly.
yeah, no, I hear you. So you went from you went from like an in-home spot
Yeah,
to, so you just like rent a spot locally? Like I'm in a
exactly.
gym sort of thing, right? So,
I rent this studio, and then it's really close to my place, so it's walkable for me. And I asked my really good friend, there are two architects, and they renovating everything, and we did a nice change here. And I bought my machines, my Pilates machine, new machines, because I was teaching just privately before, but now I offer also the duet class.
okay.
So, and obviously I need one machine more and a bigger place. And so I did this investment. And obviously when you do something new, there is a moment of fear and then changeness and how much money do I need to blah, 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 blah. But at the end, I'm really happy. I'm
Good
really
stuff.
happy. And yeah, a
Yeah.
friend of mine asked me also, if I ask someone like a business reporter or blah, 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 something about question in this
Like a full
direction.
business plan and all that stuff.
No, I didn't have actually. I just start to work and I love people, and then in German you say Mundpropaganda. So it's like mouth to mouth goes. It's okay.
Yes.
Try to go to Nick, and then so
Yes.
I build my clientele, my clients.
Right. So I guess in English we would say, or in Canada we'd say like a referral business, or like a what's there's a phrase, the exact parallel phrase that someone can help me with. So just it's something referral based business, but there's a phrase where in front of it I can't remember what it is, but
Yeah.
that's interesting. That we were having that conversation the other day about someone who was in business for 14 years, and they called their spot a referral based destination,
Hmm.
right? Where and that was how they phrased it, whereas like they never were word of mouth thank you, thank you. How come that was so hard?
And for you, how did you build your business? I mean, you start
uh,
with fitness.
yes, so I started in the personal training space, and I had a business that I was running since 2002.
Okay.
And then when I got a job at Lifetime Athletic when they built their first location in Canada, so I got a job as an assistant personal training manager there, and had an opportunity to do their Pilates course there. So I had done a Pilates class in the past, and it really helped me when I was younger, and I was playing football, like American football. I did this kind of as a special interest kind of Pilates class just to
Yeah.
help me, and then got into the Pilates from there because I realized as a personal trainer, it would be a good tool to have in my toolbox because there wasn't very men teaching many Pilates, and there wasn't
Exactly.
very many people. with the skin tone teaching Pilates as well, right? So now it's like, okay, I have a corner on the market here and I know what it feels like in my body, so I can help men and help people to realize it, experience it, and just realize how much of a difference it can make in their body.
And I think it's also really important that because I mean, obviously, who doesn't know Pilates? Think about it's more for woman
Women,
stuff or like really soft. Like
like
I mean, I
gentle
don't want to
movements.
say yeah, something like really soft and then that you don't sweat.
Yes.
And when you see a man that is in shape and train and makes you people also get in sweat and work out, then they might change the opinion of what is
Right.
Pilates for them. And
Yes.
and I think it's nice. I mean, you started with football, so you it was like a strong tough sport. I can imagine. I mean,
Yeah, you know, I got into Pilates so much later after football. I'm kicking myself. Like if I had this when I was playing, it would have made such a difference. And I think that's what motivates me to get as many athletes doing it as possible while they're still like in their prime, or even like my son who's 15, like getting his basketball team doing it before they need to stretch, right? Like while they think
yeah.
that they're invincible.
Invincible is a good point actually because I hurt my knees, my crucial ligaments when I was 22. I
Mhm.
started my career as a dancer here in Vienna, so I moved to Vienna in the 2005 and I started musical formation. And
Mhm.
then during the formation, I did disgusting, and then I thought I am invincible, like you told, you know, like
Yes.
you're young, you're fit, nothing can hurt you.
Right.
And then in one stupid jump, I landed back and my knees did this movement, tuck tuck, and I
Oh,
broke
like
my
a
ligaments. Yeah,
oh
and
yeah.
and then it was the first moment when I realized actually I'm not invincible, and this was my
Yes.
biggest
Yeah.
stop that I ever had because I never had
Hmm.
injuries. And I thought, okay, my God, I need to restart again from starting to walk, to do the stairs. How can I dance? How can I jump? Something like
Right.
restart to reset your mind as well.
Well, is it, do you feel like it was like an identity crisis too, to some degree?
Excuse me?
Like an identity crisis, right? Like because you're
Exactly, I
new,
was
right?
totally.
You're this, that's who
I
you are.
I remember when I was in the hospital, lay in the bed, and I thought, I don't know if I can return on the point where I was, you know, because
Yes.
I was a good dancer. I was still in the company, but I could offer for galas or events. So I thought, okay, can I might return to that point when I was before? And I forgot about this climbing because it's climbing a mountain, and then it was the moment when I discovered Pilates. The funny thing is, like 2007, I discovered Pilates after
Okay.
my knee injuries, so it was something that I never had before. And through that moment, I started to take classes and then to discover this beautiful discipline.
Yes. Now coming from your dance background, like did you have that moment where you're like, yes, this is challenging me enough. Like this is something, this is what my body's been looking for. Did you like, I hear that kind of sentiment a lot.
You mean while doing Pilates?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, in dancing, there are some movement. There are actually we are super. I mean, we come from a lot of. We need to do a lot of stretching. Boys need to do strength for lifting women,
Yes.
and but I had the feeling that my core was not stable enough. So I was not
Hmm.
center. When I was like turning like for pirouettes, you need obviously a strong core, but the thing is like dancers, I talk about me, maybe also other dancers don't really know how to engage the center properly
Yes. Yes.
and work in a healthy way because ballet could be really dangerous for the body. So
Hmm.
through Pilates, I start to understand how to work in a wise way my body,
Yes.
and to
Right.
engage my core, my powerhouse, and to use that while to do jumps and to be in stage and to be secure that my center is well engaged.
Right. Which, Nick, that makes me interesting. Like I've never done like ballet or anything along those lines. I'm curious, for bodies like mine that understand core strength but don't understand the fundamentals of ballet, if I went into it with like, because you can talk me through that from a core perspective to do all those different things. I'd be interesting to see how my body moves with that core understanding, as opposed to coming from a place where I had the flexibility, and you know what I mean? Because like you can do it, like you can just do it, and then you learn the core part of it after. So coming from the core part of it first, how that would influence it.
Actually, it's a good question. I remember when I did my scholarship in Milan in Pilates, and my teacher, she was a prima, not prima ballerina, but she was really good in La Scala di Milano, which is the most famous opera house in Milan. And then she did the Romana school, and then when she returned in Milano, she opened her studio and she started to give formation. And she told, obviously, it's for dancers easy to show an exercise, you know, because
Right.
your body and your body also to do a choreography is more, how can I say, you're used to take steps and you're used to get choreography.
Yes.
But to understand and make the people understand you what you want, this is the most difficult part. And this was for me something that I really to return to remindset myself to think, okay, how can I, sorry to say that, how can a normal people think how to do these exercises that for me
Yes.
is something
Comes
that is
easily.
already in my body.
Yes. Yes. That's
So
when you
it's
become a
to
great teacher.
return in the mindset, to
Yes.
segment the movement, to start from the basic one.
Mhm.
Um, and so to answer your question is it's something that you need to for me you need to feel on your body first, and
Yes.
then also I had the feeling that during my scholarship, I asked normal people like my father, how do you feel that? How is for you this
Yes.
feeling?
Good.
So
Good question.
to just sink inside a body that doesn't come from dance, and also, for
Yes.
example, normal people to stretch.
Right. Right.
I
Can I?
mean, dancer
Can,
take
I'm
the
sorry.
stretch for granted.
Yeah, absolutely. So if I could add something to that just for our audience, yes, I'll go do a dance class and try it, Debbie, exactly. And I would say that too, like for our audience who's listening to this, you know, there's movements that come easy for us, and now we have to take a step back to be able to explain it and get people to do it. One of the things that is beneficial for us is to go and learn something new.
Exactly.
I'm like, if I was to go register for violin classes right now, I'd be an absolute beginner,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then I'd have such a compassion for someone who walks into the Pilates studio and can't stretch, doesn't know what a roll up is, doesn't know what 100 is. You know what I'm saying? Like, let alone the equipment.
Yeah, I mean, it's different for everyone. I think it's great that if a person doesn't know the basic, but step by step start to get the feeling what it is, and
Yes.
in this body wise, in this mentality, start to accept, also accept the changes, and also accept the
Yes.
information that the teacher gives to you, like about breathing or rhythm,
Yes.
and also like a bit open a little bit like the mentality, because some of people
Yes.
think about just it's like exhale when you have a crunch, but why not inhale? So also like changing the way of thinking how they work. I think this flexibility should be also to stay young for your head as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Is
No,
something
that's a good point.
something that could be good for the teacher as well, to change something, to take this package that could be really all the time same, and to make it fresh all the time.
There's I'm sure someone in the chat could talk to that neuroplasticity and how that high level brain stuff, like you're making a new neural pathway. That's exactly what you're talking about. Just challenge people in a different way than the way that they always think about things.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And also about the breathing. I mean, different kind of breathing. I think to reconnect to your breathe, because many people. I remember one client of mine. I told you, can you exhale? And she told me, my mother told me I'm not allowed to exhale strong, because she told me when I was a child that it's not nice for a woman to exhale, like, you know, to have this feeling. So just to
Yes.
restart from the beginning of that is something that
Hmm.
it could change. It could change your way of your way of living as well.
Yes.
And yeah, it's something.
No.
It's just not about Pilates. It's something more bigger.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of my clients who is strong in the yoga world, it's like she's having quite the challenge changing her breathing from yoga breathing to just following the direction on a breath,
Exactly.
right? So that's exactly it. The title I used, no unnecessary stress. It almost had like a double meaning for me, right? Because we were talking before we came on air just about how um, creating strength within the body without creating the unnecessary stress. And 2022, people are coming into this year and they're like not trying to have any stress in their world right now. Like 21 was stress, 20 was stress. So like you hear people's like resolutions are like have fun, breathe, take, you know what I mean? Like it's not like they're like, I'm gonna conquer the world this year. It's like I'm going to just stop and smell the roses this year, right? So there's a sense of like unnecessary stress. So it's so funny that how you said that, and your context was the body and movement and strength. But I think in general,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
in a, you know what I'm
Obviously.
saying?
Yeah. I mean, we are living now in a situation that is so uncertain. Everything, like you don't know what is coming tomorrow. I was going. My best friend is an amazing dancer from the opera in Vienna, and we invite me tomorrow for his show in the opera, and they cancel the show 4 days, so it's
Yes.
closed because they have new cases. So it's like, just be really completely in the moment and accept what is going next. I mean, we can really
Mm,
plan so much, and this unnecessary stress is like, you know, just take the waves like there is, and through this wave, start and try to feel that if it goes in this direction, go in this direction, stay and try to feel something positive. Also, if it's not maybe the situation that you would love to be, but try to feel that
yes.
that's something that could gives you.
Yes,
Accept,
absolutely.
actually. The acceptance is something that it's really important to have.
Hmm. We have that actually here in Ontario. Apparently, like the rumor is that at 11 o'clock today, so in 35 minutes, they're announcing that they're closing the gyms again.
They're gonna close the gym again.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So bars and gyms are going to be closed again. So apparently, the 11 o'clock announcement is that. So already, I'm getting messages. What does that mean? Do I need to cancel my clients? All these different things. So you're right. Like we have to embrace where we are and
yeah.
do the most what we can and be flexible. Like hold these things loosely, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And for you, for example, while it was closing, many clients of yours was wanted to continue online, or some say no, I prefer just
Well,
uh,
yeah,
personal.
some of them went online. I actually two things. Some people went online, and I actually took advantage of that time to reach out to people that had the excuse that you're too far. I can't get it in my schedule. Those are the people that I reached out to, and I actually made a challenge, Nick, to work with people who have never done Pilates before online, right? So then got a chance to kind of teach myself in a different way because I don't have those tactile cues. I don't really can't necessarily see everything. So I started to use that to sharpen my skills. So I had someone who'd never done Pilates with me in real life, and I reached out to him. I trained him 3 times a week through the pandemic when we were in complete lockdown, just so I could like it sounds selfish, but just so I could get better, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
so I learned a lot then.
And then after that online time, this client came to you in a personal way.
Bailed. Yeah,
Okay.
he got busy again and just stopped. So it was good while it lasted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How do you combine, for example, do you still do different kind of sports?
a little bit. Yeah, like, right now it's tough, because a lot of lockdowns. I used to play a lot of squash actually. Like
Hmm.
squash was fun for me just to like because there's a high metabolic rate and you have to be really present. So I played squash. I played flag football still. And my son plays basketball, so I try and play basketball. So I just try and apply our Pilates in sport as much as I can.
Yeah. Now, for example, I love different kind of sports. I restarted to do boxing and Thai boxing.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yeah, and I love. I did my class on Sunday for 2 hours, and now I have bruises everywhere. But it's kind of fun, and
It
for
is,
me,
is it?
boxing it's something that and it extremely like Pilates, something like meditation. You just need to be in the moment and present,
Right.
and after that, I really felt energized and that my body worked a lot.
Yes. I strongly recommend that for those of you who are watching, find a sport, like have something to apply your Pilates to, right? And squash
Exactly.
for me, squash like you're chasing a ball. Like what you're doing in your neck, like if you're not present, you get punched in the face. So like I think there's more of a motivation to stay present, right?
Exactly. There is something that you need to be present.
Yes.
And sometimes in other activities you can think about other stuff, but in boxing you need to be really in the moment. So
Yes. Or
I
roller
see that you did
skating.
the core conversation with Jean-Claude. He's a really good friend of mine and he's a mentor, Jean-Claude,
Is
I think.
he? Oh
Yeah.
wait, this those videos just recently, right? Where you did a workout. Was that you doing those workouts with him?
Yes, I love
Okay.
Jean-Claude. I will be in Munich this weekend.
Okay.
Again, it's my continuous studying. I think like every teacher should continue to take classes and to study
Absolutely.
and to do workshop and to be a student as well. And I think it's really important. And I found Jean-Claude when I was in Munich playing in one musical,
Okay.
I think like 8 years ago. And so I started my Pilates journey also with him.
Yes.
And now when I can, I go and travel to Munich and take his classes, and it's something is an exchange. I'm really grateful about it.
Good stuff. I think we've had two conversations now. And you know what's funny? My takeaway from talking with him, go outside and enjoy nature.
Yeah,
That's like it seems like of all the things that you could learn from this brilliant guy, it's like go outside and breathe. Like I
yeah,
feel like that was my and like so I'll do that. Go out and just like throw down a workout outside or do some Pilates outside when it's nice outside, or just go and walk it. Take that big breath. Like those kind of things, much like we were talking about, whether it's boxing or doing something with your Pilates,
yeah.
that's kind of like one of those takeaways I get from like hanging out with him is that like there's places that you can just enjoy your life more because of your Pilates.
Exactly. And because also of your consciousness that
Yes.
and try maybe to also have a break. I think it's also important to make a break between
Yes.
your work and your private life. And
Yes.
when you start a business, you say, "Oh my God, I need to say yes to everyone, so I need
Hmm.
to teach like 7, 8 classes a day," which at the beginning is it's good, but then it takes your breath completely away,
Hmm.
and I think that your time, like to take your classes to do squash or to do boxing or to do just something completely different, gives you also a lot of energy that you
Yes.
can involve in your new student, in your classes, but you need to have this kind of energy.
Absolutely. Nick, say a little bit more about that because basically what you're talking about is like avoiding burnout, right? And
Exactly, it's really important.
it's important, but at the same time, like that real conversation about needing money, covering overhead, paying back any equipment, all these things. So how do you find
A
a
balance.
real balance?
The thing is like I love working so much. For me, like I told to
Right.
all my clients, 1 hour is never an hour. If you are here and we train together, or I give you a class or you give me a class, 1 hour is nothing.
Hmm.
It's just beautiful. This
Yes.
part of the work is amazing. Obviously, there are different energies. Everyone
Yes.
brings some energies, and with some energies, it's easier than with some other energies.
Right.
But at the end of the day, obviously, if you work a lot, you're tired.
Hmm.
So you need to find for me a balance to say yes and no. But this you learn after, because at the beginning you need that money, obviously, because if the machines, like we all know, are not cheap.
Right.
So you have to pay the rent. You have different kind of costs that you need to cover.
Hmm.
And obviously, if you want to travel as well, and if you have if you want to take classes as well, also that costs. So you need to work, but to find a balance, it's important. At the end of your journey, I think, if I can say, like, the best way, the number of clients that maximal should be, I think 6 or 7, not more.
Yeah.
Because at the end you're just if not, you cannot put so much energy. So, and
Yes.
have like the weekend off. And also, for example, for me right now, Christmas time, I took like 12 days completely off.
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted to have like complete,
Good
and it was
stuff.
really important.
It was
Although I
important.
love work, I mean, I love work and I love to work out and train. And when I have off, I think, oh my God, I need to do something. And then, but
Right.
to find the quietness is something that we need to, yeah,
Yeah,
instead of
absolutely.
kind
Well,
of
I mean,
meditation.
even before I asked you the question, you had answered the question. You have a teacher, you have someone where you're learning from, you have people that you like to work with, you have a space that's manageable, like you didn't jump in over your head, like you took 2 years to
No.
get to where, like it sounds like you have those pieces in place,
Yeah, I mean, yes,
right?
for that, I'm happy about it, and I hope that the pandemic will not make us like close again, because open and close is something that obviously change your business,
Yep.
but I mean, I am no one to say so. We need to accept it, and the thing is like we need to find a solution to
Yes.
for me, I need to be honest. The first pandemic was the most difficult because I
First.
was a little bit lost, and I
Mm,
have the feeling everyone goes online a lot, so we need to to build something quick online. So I was in Switzerland. I was like, okay. I need to do my YouTube channel. I need to do to give quick online classes to discover
yes.
Zoom. So I
Just
was so
reaction, right?
stressed.
Yes,
I
yes.
was so stressed that in the morning I wake up and I had the feeling someone punched me in the stomach, like this, so tensed.
Mm,
But then I discovered this kind of online world, which is something that actually is amazing.
yes.
I mean, not for everyone, because I still think that real classes are much better for me, because I love correction, I love putting my hands on my client, or if I get classes, also feel that hands the correction, and for
Yes.
me it's something that I understand better.
Mhm.
But in the other hands, you can reach many different people, and then also I like to take classes online as well.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. But I appreciate you sharing that because that I say that's real talk. I was stressed. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I had to get everything up and running tomorrow. And you scramble and it's difficult and people don't hear that side. They see your shiny studio and your online presence and they don't
Yeah, yeah,
talk about the fact that like it was rough.
yeah. I didn't have a day off, really. I remember when I was in Switzerland for 2 months, and it was the only day off, it was Easter. I
Yes.
was like working and trying to figure out stuff like 7, 8 hours a day, and then to build a YouTube channel, and then to my the daughter of the husband of my mother asked if she can film me and put it because she had a professional camera to put it the video online. So it was something that you need to discover, right? And I wanted, and I felt it at the beginning that this online stuff will be something that will increase. So everyone was doing that online. So okay,
Yes.
I need to do it now. I don't want to come so much late, but also that to find the balance is important, because at the end, I mean, if you do it right now or later, there is not so much difference. I mean, just do it, and then and and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. You
What?
recognize now that there's enough people out there that you'll be fine. Like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm happy now, and then I'm grateful to have this opportunity to be also online and through Instagram. I mean, it's such a beautiful shareness of information that we have. If
Yes.
we see Pilates colleagues, I love to watch video and to get inspiration about it. It's so
Mhm.
beautiful. It's like a continuous study that everyone can get for free.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So as you can wade through that and you'll find your people, right? And you take classes from special instructors and lesser known instructors. That's really why I started doing these core conversations because there are some really, really good teachers out there who don't have 40,000 followers and whatever. Like,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Like they're doing great work, but they may not have social media acumen. That doesn't mean that you're not a good teacher. It just means that you're not.
Or maybe they're not interested, but the topic of
Right.
what they're doing is really
Yes.
good.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. You don't have to be a social media whisperer to be a good instructor. Like you could be
No.
fantastic and just have 5 followers, right? And that's why I love this platform and just having
Yeah.
conversations like this.
And what about you? Did you find your time also for you to train by yourself, like to return on the machines? And then how much time can you invest, for example, in a week if you teach a lot? Do you
Mhm.
save your quality time?
I like first thing in the morning, so I try to like come into the studio, get a workout in before I start my clients. So that's usually my time that I'll try and do that. Like I find once the day starts, it's tough to get those workouts in, or if I have it in the middle of the day, I don't usually get to it. So like I like trying to do it first thing in the morning. So
Mhm.
yeah, I've been trying to do that. And then also like you, I have instructors that I meet with that will train me or we'll work out together and that sort of thing as well. So I just try and keep some accountability for myself that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the other part of it too. Like you,
And
I
how
just
do
like,
you feel like Pilates changed your body, for example?
oh man, like I was like just like think about like that football athlete body and then you grow up and you don't stretch, right? So then you get like hamstring injuries, back injuries and stuff because there's no mobility. So
Yeah, yeah.
when I started doing Pilates, I did my teacher training and Chris Robinson was the one who taught us. And he was sharing a story of how Romana told him to stop lifting weights when he went into the program so he could get Pilates in his body. So I accepted that challenge. So for the first like 18 months while I was doing the teacher training program, I stopped doing resistance training. Stopped, squats and push-ups and bench press and stuff. I just basically just dropped the weights and I noticed that I lost muscle mass, but I got more flexible. My back was more mobile, all those different things. And when I was still playing flag football, I was faster, no injuries at all.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like my performance improved even though my muscle mass went down.
And also the way, for example, like people goes to the gym and do crunches. Like you see,
Yes.
the way they approach for you to do abdominal exercises changed completely, I think, right?
It did, but then it was also changing. Like I'm sure it was the same with you, Nick. Like you start to gravitate to people who have your philosophy. Like when I was a personal trainer, I was doing like TRX and I was doing like the Vipers and those guys in those teacher training. I was a master trainer for Viper and for TRX doing teaching at conferences. They're all about core engagement and like training the body in different planes of movement and multi-joint, multi-planar movement. So that same philosophy that Joseph Plies had for Pilates when it came to the exercises and look at your whole body as opposed to isolating, like you're not just doing like a bicep curl, like you are using your whole body. I was already doing that in personal
Yeah,
training. I think
yeah,
that's why Pilates made so much sense to me.
yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So like that's why actually full circle now that's why I want to go back to the personal training world and say you need to be a Pilates instructor, right? Like, because you already understand the body, get this tool in your toolbox.
Yeah. No, for me also, when I see, I mean, I love also going to the gym because it's something that it's a different atmosphere. It's something that I'm not just in the studio, and it's fun to be in a different environment.
Yes.
And but when I work with weights, for example, I always have an eyes on my core, on my
Yes.
posture, of my in a really clean work. And it's funny
Yes.
thing like how many people hurt themselves because they really, I mean, they don't have the body feeling.
Right.
Just about also like working bad, but just they don't a feeling of how a body moves. And
Yes.
then you see people that obviously it's easy then to get injured if you have so much weight and you work bad. And I think through Pilates, you really learn how to move your body and
Hmm.
then to accept your limit as well,
Yes.
but to work in a really clean way that you can use in different activities, not just Pilates, but
Absolutely.
swimming, doing dance, ballet, boxing, or what you want, but stay with your head in the moment and then to work in a clean way.
Yes. And can I add to that, listening to your body? Because we are so body aware. If I'm doing my bicep curl or whatever it is, I'm more aware if my shoulder's in the wrong position. I'm just trying to get that one more rep in, or if something like, you know what I mean? Like, we are more body aware. And I find that, like, even for my clients that I'm teaching them how to listen to their body
Mm.
in a
Yeah,
different way,
yeah.
right?
I think it's the key of not getting injured.
Yes.
So, and
Right.
it's really, really, really important about that.
Absolutely. So that's kind of like my pitch when I'm talking to guys, doing guys, like, say, this is something, this is that missing link for you in your training. You're gonna get stronger in those weakest links, right? Because, like, you go to the gym, you know that you can do the same exercises and you're gonna get strong in the same places, and you're gonna stay weak in the same places unless you change it up.
And also, I mean, maybe there is something that in the gym there is fading. I mean, we have, and I love all the kind of rotation that in Pilates there are. Some
Yes.
rotation, and maybe in gym machines there are not so many movement that put you in a rotation way, although there are some machines obviously, but
Right.
in Pilates or also in dance, there are a lot of rotation that engage also your back muscle, your obliques, and then this feeling of putting the hips in front but rotating the upper body. And I love
Yes.
this kind of elongation as well, that
Yes.
putting an extra in your workout, in your body, in your cleanness of the muscle as well, in the length in the muscle.
Yes. That's a real, Nick, that's a real technical talk there. For you personal trainers out there, always train in the different planes of movement,
Exactly.
right? Like,
Yeah.
your programming should have all different rotation
Yeah,
and
obviously,
that sort of thing,
yes.
right? So, like, when you're hitting all those different planes of movement, then it makes sense when you go back to other things. So yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Have you ever played golf, Nick?
No. I
Okay.
play tennis. I was
Yeah.
playing tennis and never playing golf.
Tennis has it too, but I think golf does capture, like, you're talking about unnecessary stress. If you are stiff, and I don't play enough golf to even speak to this almost, but if you are playing golf and you are stiff through your swing, the ball's not going to go as far as if you were relaxed, right? When you could coil and recoil
Yeah.
properly, right? And Pilates is the same, and I think life is the same. There's times when you need power, and there's times when you need to just be fluid and flow with it.
Can I stop you 1 second? Yesterday, for example, my boxing teacher told me when you hit in front, I mean, you need to whip. It's like I'm
Yes,
slapping someone. And
right.
then to relax, and then when you hit, to hit strong, but then to return to relax. Because if you still stress and intention all the time, you're breakable. So if you
Yes.
relax and you find the moment when you have to be strong, then you return is the key of also continue the movement, continue the training. And this is
Yes.
something that also for me is super difficult
Hmm.
because I create unnecessary stress in my upper body, my trapeze, like
Yes.
but
Yeah.
it's something that you need to accept in your head and then to your from your head to your body to give that information.
Yes. That perfect example. And with my client this morning, I was working with her through a teaser.
Yeah.
And for weeks on her teaser, she's been struggling with it and feeling like her back is, like, clicking and popping and all these different things. And a lot of that is because she's starting with a really, really strong core. So there's no articulation
Mhm.
into it, right?
Yeah.
And then we're using the same analogy. So it's just funny how they came up again. Like, it's like that punch, like, there is that little snap, that whip. There's a fluid
Good
nature to
moment.
it, a fluid moment. Yeah.
Exactly. That you can
Yes.
relate also then to. yeah, to like a teaser or different exercises that in Pilates there are, that we don't need so much stress, so much power, and then the exercise come like easily, easily,
Yes.
but work in a easily way. Like in dancing, I mean, if you're on stage and you need to do a performance that costs you like 30 minutes on stage without break, obviously there are some moments that you have to breathe and to refine
Yes.
your energy. And then there are powerful moments when you need to be really focused and then give everything, and then you can again find a moment to recover. So
Sounds a lot like life.
yeah, exactly.
So Nick, here's my question I like to ask people. Who is your ideal client? So now you have your space. If there was someone who walked in the door and you're like, I will train you for free the rest of your life because I love working with this type of
I mean,
person, body, mindset.
I love people that love to work. I don't like so much lazy people because I love to feel my body. I love to put my body on the extreme.
Yes.
I mean, not everyone like love doing that,
Mhm.
but like for me, every time I told Jean-Claude, I mean, I told him in a funny way, but kill me. Like
Yes.
I want to feel my body, like really put him on my limits. And when I start on my limits, I start to laugh because I'm really on my limits.
Yes.
But I love these kind of people that I really can put. And I have some different uh, people. Like last year, I had a dancer. She's from Japan and she was in the opera. And she's really tiny, but she was never said too much. So I put
Mm.
and work and work. And she was like an animal that want to have this meat and continue. And I love this feeling.
Yes.
And so, and I don't care if you're a dancer, if you're fit or not fit, who
Mhm.
cares?
It's a
But this kind
mindset.
of mentality, that I
Yes.
love it. I love this
Absolutely.
feeling. And then the class, it's fly. And then I can teach you 2 hours without feeling, oh my God, I need to finish the class.
Yes.
Obviously, there are some days that you're tired and you need to accept that. You need to feel your body. But my
So I just reading the comment there. Kill me. Nice cueing.
No. And what about you? What is your best ideal client?
Yes, well, and that's like I love working with men. Like I love working with everybody, but I get excited when I have that guy who is like, you know what, my wife told me to show up here because she said the plies would probably help me with my back. Or that person, like my doctor said that, I need to start exercising, but this is gonna be, you know what I mean? Like, or that athlete that's like, I want to get to the next level. And I think that I've heard something about this Pilates thing. Like, okay, perfect, lie down, let's go. Like that person who wants to get better, that person who's
Yeah.
just trying to get to the next level, no matter what stage you're at, if they want to go for that improvement. And then just for guys, because I think guys have a mindset that this isn't for them because it's for women and whatever. So I like changing people's paradigm when it comes to,
Yeah. But
listen,
also, I
take,
mean, athletes, like I have some martial artists that I really love to work with as well. And it's something that with professional athletes, it's a support as well. And then you can really give something extra. And I think this is really interesting as well. But my
yes,
oldest client, which is 81, I think it's also amazing.
yes,
So, and also this kind of way, see the improvement. And I mean, this guy never has an injuries and he's still doing a lot of skiing and going to the gym. So I'm talking about one man that is 81, but in fact,
it's
it could
amazing.
be like 60. So,
Right, exactly. Those are, I call them my athletes, right? Like those are my real athletes, right? Like
yeah.
they're keeping up with their kids, they're beating everyone else their age, they're doing things that they want to do. They go on vacation, they come back and say that they walked for 4 days straight. You know what I mean? Like you're adding years to their life.
Yeah.
That's like such a privilege for me.
You know that I remember when I was in Munich, I was in one gym between my rehearsal time, and I met this guy, and he was training at the gym, doing like circus stuff, jump, and then doing some stretching, and then he had a beautiful athlete body, and we started to talk, and then he told me, you know, look at these people here in this gym. There are many people that completely with muscle and perfect body look strong,
Yes.
but they are all like a Ferrari or Maserati that they cannot drive because
Yes.
it's they are so
It's
breakable.
just a shell, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Yes.
something is staying in my mind, and I think that if you start with Pilates, the real focus will be yes, we love to everyone to have a six pack, to have muscles to show, and obviously there is some aesthetical way that everyone want to reach.
Of course.
But the goal, and we don't have to forget, it's we do something, we do sports in general because it's healthy. So the healthy
Yes.
way, we want to live longer in a healthy way because everyone gets older,
Yes.
everyone will get some pain and some difficult moment, maybe
Hmm.
injuries. So the goal should be live longer and to give my body also the feeling that yeah, you can live longer in a healthy way without break your body. Like I don't know.
Yes.
If you
Yeah.
think Madonna, I love Madonna, for example. She was
Okay.
training so hard. She was jumping on stage so much, and then at the end, she hurt her body because overwork is also bad.
Right.
Dancers overwork is bad.
Right. Right, exactly. Yeah, no, you've captured it right there, and that's the thing. So to add longevity, I've said like you're adding years to your life and life to your years, right? Like you want to make sure that we can do that well for a long time. So
Yeah, yeah.
yes, Nick,
Martin, I need to leave you because
I
I have my
appreciate
next class in 10 minutes.
do your thing. Thank you so much.
It was really
Um,
nice talking
yeah,
to you. I really enjoy it. And
thank you.
if you come to Vienna, you're more than welcome here. We can train together. It will be amazing.
Yes, or I can meet you at John Claude's studio and we could do a workout together.
Amazing.
And then you
That
could
will be.
say, kill me, and I'll just watch him kill you, and I'll just do what I can.
We can kill ourselves. It will be amazing. Always say to my boxer teacher, kill me, but he actually killed me. I don't want. I will not show you my bruises on my body because it's a lot.
That's awesome. That's so
Okay.
good. That's so good. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so
Appreciate it, Nick.
much,
All
Martin.
right.
Have a beautiful evening. Ciao,
Thank
ciao.
you. Take care.
Ciao.
Thank you. There's so many comments I didn't get to as we were flying through here, guys, but thank you so much for joining me today. We're back at it all week. Happy New Year. And please, no unnecessary stress. Let's keep it fluid like that punch. Just snap it in there and come back out with power. All right, party people, we are back at it tomorrow. See you guys 10 o'clock again for Core Conversations.